Welcome to Bay Rats and Buoys with your host, Captain Gaige.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. I'm your host, Captain Gaige. This is episode number 25, brought to you in part by Seatow Huntington. Are you a member? Visit seatow.com to join today. And the Fisherman Magazine, my favorite magazine to get in the mail. Subscribe and get your subscription today. And Clicks Fueling. Visit clicksfueling.com. What is up, everybody? Wow, I can't believe it. You know I give you the countdown every week. How many days? I could ask you guys, how many days until April 15th? How many days now? This is unbelievable. We are less than 2 weeks away, so now it really gets exciting. The boat's uncovered. Told you I was doing it. I did it. And just getting all the gear ready. It's unbelievable. Opened up all the hatches, took everything out, and I pretty much had everything off the boat for the winter anyway, because I like to get stuff ready, so I keep it indoors. And it's time. Getting everything ready right now. Guys are fishing in my area. Charles went out this week. They were going out for the early tog bite, and had green crab on a blackfish jig and landed a striped bass, and then put on a Tsunami swim bait, white, and landed an over slot. So and that was in 7 feet of water, guys. So they were in shallow water. They're here. The big ones are on their move, coming down out of the rivers, and before you know it, they are going to come and gather in Raritan Bay and then make their way. And they're already making their way. They're already heading around Long Island. They're on both sides. They got us surrounded. So if you want to get out there and start fishing, now's the time. Water temp was 47 and 48 degrees in the Peconic Bay and 49 degrees in the creek. Thank you, Captain Jacob from Davy Jones Shellfish Company. I love to plug our locals and all the guys that sponsor the tournament for sure. Speaking of sponsors, I just hung up the phone. With Matt over at J&M Seafood in East Northport. So I look up his website, and Jacob had made the introduction. I look up the website, and he's on Lockfield Road. And sure enough, the address on Lockfield Road was my old man's accounting firm back in 1985, And he wound up moving across the street to 275 Lockfield Road, but 248, it's either 248 or 258 Lockfield Road. And that brought back some memories, holy cow. So that was cool. Talking to Matt, loves the idea of the tournament, wants to sponsor, so that's cool. And sent him the link to the sponsor page, and we'll have a talk about it. We're setting up a meeting, and we'll go over it. But it's great to hear that the local companies love what we're doing, and they want to get involved, which is pretty cool. So any of you guys up in East Northport, you want some good seafood, head on over to J&M Seafood on Lockfield Road there in East Northport, right across from Hewitt Square. And I don't even know if it's called Hewitt Square anymore, but it was when I was a kid. So I grew up in that area. Still live in that area now. Graduated Northport High School, the whole 9 yards. So I love being a captain in my old hometown there. I mean, now I'm down in Huntington, but, I'm in Northport just as much as I'm in Huntington. And speaking of Northport, big shout out to Sash over at Whale's Tail. Jumped on as a sponsor for the tournament. We are very grateful. And he's got some huge news. He's got some big things happening. He's been working on big projects. And looks like Whale's Tail Hamptons is a go in 6 weeks. That is going to be off the charts. I've already heard from people out east that it's going to be insane, that his location and what he's got going on out there is going to be incredible. So I can't wait to head out there and check it out. But in the meantime, I can get my tacos locally on Taco Tuesday, and it's always a packed house over at Britannia Yachting Center at Whale's Tail in Northport. And obviously, you can go across the parking lot there to the Harbor Brewery and check out Harbor Head. And, very grateful to have Sasha and Whale's Tail involved with the first annual Striped Bass Invitational going down Sunday, June 22nd. So there you go, guys. I wasn't in a big rush to plug the tournament. We got a lot going on. There's a lot happening. I even forgot to do my fishing report this week. That's how busy this week has been. And we just put out a video online inviting companies to our executive networking event that we're having at Ohika Castle. And if you want to get involved in that and you own your own company or you're an executive or a CEO and you want to get involved with us, shoot me an invite, shoot me a message and I'll privately invite you to it and let you know what time and when it's going down at Ohika. And man, now it's time to just start getting stuff ready. So what's the first thing you're going to throw when you get out there? In the springtime, when we go out there to fish for the striped bass, in years past, one of the first things I was throwing was a half-ounce white bucktail. I would go into the shallows and start throwing that bucktail around, and those would be the first fish, the 20s, the 24s, hooking up with the schoolies. That was a blast. But for the last 3 years, me and Kory have been heading out into the bay and working our area. We haven't even had to go out into the sound to catch over slots. And like I said, just a few days ago, I put a picture up here. Charles got 2 bass. One was on a green crab on a blackfish jig, and the other was on a white Tsunami swim bait. So I like to throw white in the springtime. And like I say, color does matter. So you're going to test out a whole bunch of different stuff and see what they're feeding on. But the things that I know work are the things that I like to go out and throw in the beginning of the season, get those first couple of hookers. And then when fishing's really good and it's lights out, that's when I tend to throw other stuff on and see how that's doing and see how they react to the other colors and the other presentations. And Kory and I take people out. We get invited all the time. And I mean, we get ridiculous amount of invites. And a lot of times we have to turn it down just based on the date and that we're busy. And we feel bad because we're getting invited on some serious boats with some serious captains to go do some serious fishing. And, sometimes we're busy and we can't. And other times we're like, wow, yeah, we're down. We're coming. And I get a lot of emails and a lot of messages asking me, hey, could we get out there with just 1 or 2 guys and you teach us different areas in our area that we fish? And the answer is yes. I mean, we take people out and fish all the time. There's times where we're hired to come onto somebody else's boat and teach them. So we teach you on your own boat. Or a lot of times we take you out on our boat and we take you around and we teach you, how to work the back bays and the estuaries and go where there's less salinity and get into these back areas that you probably have never fished before because you probably don't even know you can get back there, and we go all the way into the back. So when we go into the back bays, we're going into the back bays. I'm talking, we could see the people in their houses. And there's a lot of fish back there. I get messages, talk about intel. And I won't even say any names because people might know where they fish and whatnot, but we get such intel that we know at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning where fish are jumping out of the water. I mean, that's how good the intel is, that we'll get the text message and saying it's happening right now. It's lights out. They're blowing up. And it's usually not too far from my marina and from my dock. So it's within a 10, 15-minute boat ride. We could be there. So when that call comes in, those times we go check out the intel and see how good it is. And it's usually pretty good. Only Kory, my first mate, will tell me the birds are going crazy. I get out there. I'm like, where? Oh, it died down. It just shut off. I want to kill him every time he does it to me. He's out there on his own boat. And then I shoot out there on my boat. I meet up with him and where's the birds? Where is everything? It was lights out 10 minutes ago. And that's fishing. That is the God's honest truth. So that does happen. And I'm never mad, when I got to get on my boat and go somewhere, ever. I really don't care. Even if something breaks and something goes wrong, that's what we got these guys for. When something breaks and something goes wrong, who are you going to call? And it ain't Ghostbusters. And, we like to say captains matter. And members matter too. So being a member at Cito, that's your guarantee lock to get back in and get back in safely. And, I even put you back in your slip. which in a lot of cases, man, I took a guy back to Prime last year on his wake boat. Beautiful wake boat. Thing was like $250,000. Glitter, gorgeous, beautiful wake boat. And he had to go back to the marina at Prime in Stanford. And I had to take him all the way. And he was literally the last slip up against the bulkhead where everybody's eating. And I got to bring him up against the rocks, up against the bulkhead and the dock, and everybody eating and everybody's watching. And believe it or not, we love situations like that because, I love a crowd. And, sometimes we love just showing off a little bit. And it's a lot of fun. So, and then there's other times I don't want to take it down your fairway because it's blowing and it's crazy and we're going to hit things. And, you just have to make an educated decision. And that's the truth. That's just God's honest truth. But yeah, if I could recommend anything to anybody, it would be have a contract, have a membership, and know that someone's coming to get you in a time of need. And it's just how I feel. I'm a local commercial tow captain. I'm going to tell you. It's an important part of owning a boat. I'll tell you that because you never know when something's going to go wrong. Even on my boat, you never know when something's going to go wrong. And I just got an email today telling me that my membership is up in 30 days. So, here I am, a local captain. I got to have a Sea-Tow membership too. And because if I take my boat into Raritan Bay, what do I just call up that Sea-Tow location and say, hey, guys, I'm a Sea-Tow captain. Come get me. Waste your gas and do all of it. No, I got to be a member. It's just part of having a boat. You want your boat to get saved and rescued. I talk about it all the time, but I know I'm giving you guys good advice. So, did get a call from a couple of guys that reached out about the vessel safety checks that we talked about last week. I just hung up the phone with Rob over at the Coast Guard Auxiliary because usually I'll check in with him to make sure he got his stickers. And we're going to set up the dates now moving forward. So I recommended him. I shared his contact information. I reached out to him to see if he got his stickers and let him know I sent a few people his way so that when they contact him, he knows, that I sent them over to him. And just trying to do the right thing, Get your boat checked out. Make sure your fire extinguishers are, good, in the green, and that all your lights are working, and you have a sounding device. And I know I got to fix one of my nav lights for sure. Those things bounce around up there and hit the boom, 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 take a lot of abuse. And the little bulb inside, it's amazing how it just sits in there. And sometimes it comes undone. You can just hit it and it goes back on. Well, I'm done hitting it. It's time for a new light. And I think I'm in for new electronics this year. I think this is the year that I go for the upgrade. And, I talk about it all the time that, I can get out there and probably just go fishing and not have sonar and not have anything on the boat and still know all my areas from growing up here as a kid and knowing where to go to catch them. But I think I'm going to dive in and get the newest and the latest and greatest and, be able to see them on the side scan and 3D mode and live mode and, all the new stuff that's out now. So I saw it all at the boat show. I got buddies down at the marina that got it already, so I've seen it all in action. And I think this is the year I dive in. So that's some good news. I'm excited about that. And I'm sure Gabe will be excited too because he's going to have to do the install. And that's really, that's April, April is just get ready month. And we're already planning our trips heading west. I tell you every time I get on, where we would go. And me and Kory were texting each other just before, prepare for battle, We know the fish are moving. We know where they are. We know where they're going to be. And we're going to head their way and cut them off before they get out my way. And I might be passing fish to go fish, but you know what? I'm one for an adventure. So I really am one to get on the boat, leave in the morning, and not come back. I'm happy to drive back in the dark. I love night boating. Nobody loves it more than me. I guarantee you that. So I don't mind. Sun's going down. I'm not in a rush to get back. You know what I mean? So I don't mind hustling back in the dark and just, it's knowing your area too. It's really, I fly around in my hometown because I know where every can is. I know where all the rocks are. I know where everything should be. It's just things that you want to see out there at night that may be there that shouldn't be there, like a kayak, little things that you would never think, man. And we've seen them out there nighttime in the sound with flashlights. And we were looking at each other like, what is that? I'm like, is that a wave runner that's broken down, or just the way it was moving with a weird light on it? And I was just like, let's go take a look. And man, we got close enough, and it was two kayaks in the dark out by the brush pile, off of 13. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, they were hard to see. And they had, lights on their heads or whatever was moving, and it was just dangerous. So, I mean, can you imagine, you're doing 30 on your boat, it's nighttime, and, you get to see everything. The moon lights up a lot. So that moonlight really does help, so you get to see a lot based on the moon and the reflection in the water. And I film a lot. When I'm out there at nighttime, I'll throw the camera on and show you guys how pitch black it is. You look behind, you turn the spotlight, side lights, off on the boat, and you don't see anything. It's pitch black. And, so you really got to know what you're doing out there. So that's not recommended. And I will teach people how to boat at night, too. I mean, we do it all the time. You see it on my website. Click on Captain Gaige page, and it'll show you a list of all the different stuff. You want to do close quarter maneuvering and learning how to operate your boat with twin, triple screw, whatever you got, and become a better boater in tight quarters. I'll be happy to teach you. I'll take you into some tight quarters in your area to practice. There's no doubt about it. And I always teach people, when I teach them, I tell them that the throttle is the money lever, okay? And if you want to go full throttle, the more throttle you want to give it, the more money you want to spend, okay? So neutral is your buddy. You put it in neutral, and you're probably not going to pay as much. But, man, you see those guys close quarter in a marina, and you just hear that engine go, and they rev it to get out of trouble. I mean, that's when I'm like, all right, somebody needs help. Maybe they'll need a little instruction. Maybe throw them a line, grab a dock pole, something. But in close quarters, you should never be giving your boat any type of full throttle, unless you got yourself into some serious trouble and you're going to do some serious damage. Maybe. But I would say 99% of the time, there's no reason to give it full throttle in tight quarters. So pass that on to any of the new boaters out there. If you think you're coming into the fuel dock and you like to throw it in reverse real hard, or wait till that wire stretches out and you go to throw it in reverse, and your reverse didn't work, and you wind up slamming into the engine in front of you on the guy that's sitting on the fuel dock ahead of you. I used to see people do that all the time at Freedom Boat Club, and they'd come in hot, and you are. They'd come in hot to the dock, and then they'd throw it in reverse to stop it, trying to show off to the people on the boat. And I'm like, please don't do that again. So, those are the things you live and learn, and you try to teach people the right way. But, man, I didn't even talk about all the sponsors and all the great things that are happening with the tournament, Bay Rats and Buoys. This last week, man, was I busy. And because we're emailing and talking to a lot of the local companies and figuring out where we're going to have the captain's meeting and, where we're going to have the after party, when the tournament shuts down at 4 o'clock, are we going to change the start time? All these great things that are, being worked out. And we have so much time to work it out because really it's not until Sunday, June 22nd. So, if we announce everything at the captain's meeting and work out all those details there, I'm trying to do that all privately beforehand, with the guys, kind of pick everybody's brain and see where we're at. It's really exciting. I mean, this thing has grown into something, it really, it's going to be a great tournament. It really is. And the fact that it's a local Huntington Lighthouse shotgun start has me super excited because I haven't even been down to the marinas yet, and down to the ramp and to the deli and to the places where I get my lunch and 7-Eleven where we all, run into everybody and see everybody in town. And we're always talking about fishing. Well, now they're all going to be talking about, hey, I'm winning the tournament. And that's kind of cool, and just recently, just phone calls that I had today, people that said they listen to the podcast. And I say it all the time, you never know who's listening. And when I hear people that are listening and they've listened to previous episodes because they wanted to go hear from Captain Mike at Nautical School, or they wanted to hear from Captain Jacob out in the Peconic and the oyster farm that he has and all the different stuff that different captains are doing, I want to say this is going to be the last week of me in the studio. I almost sat on the boat today. All right, it's raining outside. I probably could have done it yesterday. It was a little windy, a little chilly out there. And I was like, no reason to force the issue. The boat's on the trailer. But I literally could have sat on the boat with the camera and the microphone and did the podcast, episode number 25 from the boat. And I think next week, I really got to say, it's either 26 or 27 is going to be episode that starts on the boat. And from that week forward, it's going to be every episode done on the boat. And I can't wait to be sitting in the sun, throw the sunglasses on, and sit on the boat, talk to you guys. And we'll be talking about catching fish. Like right now, Charles is catching fish. April Fools, we were all sending pictures of fish that we said we caught that day, and we were out, and I wasn't out, and we were messing with people. And Charles actually went fishing locally, and he went to go tog fishing, which guys do. It's tog season, the beginning of springtime. Guys go tog fishing. And, you get them from the beaches. You get them local in the shallow water, in a rocky area, in a not rocky area. I get them under my dock. I have amazing videos that I can put up here and show you a ridiculous amount of tog that are in the harbor under the dock. And then I can show you videos of those tog being caught and being reeled up. And when you get them up to the top of the water, a big 32-inch bass, which isn't big, but it's over slot, comes up and goes after the tog. But it really doesn't go after the tog to attack it. Why is it coming up? Is it because he saw a fish going up? Is he coming up because he hears splashing and it attracted him? He thinks it's a bunker. Does he not eat it because it's a tog? Those are all the questions that we have. I haven't seen the bass eat the tog yet. And they're all down there in schools working together in the same area. And I don't know, you guys that have caught keepers, 28 to 31, have you cut any open? Have they had any tog in them? That'd be a nice comment. Throw it in the comments. I haven't pulled the tog out of a striped bass belly in a long time, and maybe that's because I haven't cut them open. I'm usually tagging them. Which I'm very proud about, guys. I'm super proud that we're having a tournament to compete for conservation and that we're going to tag as many fish as we can in one day. That, to me, is going to be epic, and that's what makes this event very special, that we have a mission for that day. And, we're going to tag as many fish as possible. And that is thanks to Gray Fish Tag Research, and that's where the tags are going to come from. Those are the tags we're going to give people on the boats that register for the tournament, which I recommend you go and do because the registrations are going to fill up and get to a point where, do we get to a number that we cut it off and we say, okay, we're happy? Or are we just going to let it become, the WIC tournament where people are signing up all over Long Island to go fish the Long Island Sound? But we are calling for a shotgun start, so we do want you in Huntington at the lighthouse the morning of. Everybody has to leave from the lighthouse. So there are some stipulations, and if you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me and ask me. I love answering any questions and working things out with people. Like we said, it's a first annual, so we don't know everything. We're planning it and doing it, and there's a lot of questions along the way, and we get that, and that's pretty cool. Because we all get to work it out. I've even been asked by other people for, to collaborate and do other tournaments and do stuff. And I don't think you realize how much work goes into the one event. And there's a lot of work. And that's the drink of choice on the boat. Water, iced tea, and Diet Coke are usually the three. And there's Fiesta, and there's all kinds of stuff in there for the guests. I don't drink any of that crap. I just drink this. And water. And so if you ever come on the boat, you don't have to bring me beer. You can just bring a 10-pack of the small cans. I use the small cans because they make my hands look bigger. That's not true. I just finish it. And this way, if I have a regular can, I might not finish it. At least I'm going to finish this while it's cold. So now you know a little bit about Captain Gaige. You see, you learn something new every week. You probably already knew that. We got Clicks Fueling. We talked about them in every episode. We had met through Facebook. They had reached out saying, hey, your podcast is growing. We love your online presence. And sure enough, we're talking to people at Saltwater in the New York Boat Show. And I turn around behind me, and there it says Clicks Fueling. And I'm like, wait a second. That was the company that reached out to me on Facebook and said, go to the website, and they'll send me the Clicks Fueling stuff for free. And then I saw them at the show, so I went over and introduced myself, and they jumped on the podcast. And Steven and Howard and Justin, they're awesome guys, and they really are. And we appreciate them sponsoring for the tournament for Bay Rats and Buoys, first annual striped bass. And I'm going to use this next week. Looks like I'm filling up my boat. And guys, so what I do is a lot of guys will pull up to the gas tank and fill up on land before they drop it in the water. And the gas that you get at a fuel dock at a marina is ethanol free, if I'm correct. And you save a little bit filling it up on land. I've done it every year. It doesn't affect the boat runs. The boat runs fine. You know what I mean? So it's not any issues running the engine on any of that different type of gas, whether it has the ethanol or ethanol free or, so the boat always ran great. But I think I love just going to the fuel dock and filling up the boat, seeing Rich. Can't wait to see Rich. He's another big fan of Bay Rats and Buoys. And can't wait to talk to him at the fuel dock there and see how his winter was down in South Beach. Not going to lie, I'm a little jealous. I love South Beach, which is really only 8 blocks in Miami. So if you hear of South Beach, it's not like this big neighborhood. It consists of 8 block. It's an 8-block span in Ocean Drive area there in Miami, from Wet Willie's down to Versace's house. And great area, love it there. We spent many a time at the Clevelander partying back in the dancing days, and the DJ days, and the MC days. And now the microphone has changed. I don't have to hold it in my hand. It's a studio mic. Banged out a whole bunch of radio shows here today. Got March Madness. That's what all those shows are about. It's all about sports. Sports talk radio. And we're even doing a podcast at Ohika. So I got executive networking at Ohika. And if you own a company, you want to come on and jump on the podcast for 15 minutes. And which guys are reaching out to me now in this business, which is great, So we pushed it off to, I want them on the boat. Instead of having them come here, sit in the studio, I'd rather sit on the boat with Tony Maja. And, he said he wants to wrap up fishing in there. He's like, if I'm coming to Huntington, he's like, we're going fishing. I'm like, you're damn right we're going fishing. We'll sit, we'll do the podcast, and then we'll go out and catch fish, and we'll show you everything we did in the B-roll on the podcast, And that's exciting. And, we'll get Sash from Whale's Tail on. He had his own podcast, and anybody that follows Whale's Tail knows Whale's Tail is an awesome location in Northport, famous for their Taco Tuesdays. And now he's opening up Whale's Tail Hampton. So that is just going to be awesome. Can't wait to check that out and get out there and see Sash in the Hamptons too. And we're going to stop by Northport because we got stickers, we got signage, we got all kinds of stuff for the tournament. So once I get down to the marinas and start getting the stuff up locally in our area. But I got to tell you, we're getting a great outpour of support from people out of the area that want to come into the tournament. And this spawned because me and Kory wanted to enter more tournaments. And there was just not a ton of tournaments. And I got to say, if June 22nd is a huge success, there might be a Bay Rats and Buoys fall tournament. There might be. The website's there already. Everything's in place. So we're going to start with June 22nd. Let's see how that goes. But the reason we wanted to host a tournament is because we're all super competitive. We all want to go out together and fish in the same area like we do on a regular basis. We see, guys from our marina all heading out, and we stop by each other out there, say what's up. And, if we're on the radio, yapping away, yeah, they're all stacked up over here. Come on over here. I don't think we're going to be getting that call during the tournament that, hey, yeah, they're all stacked up over here. You're going to hear hooting and hollering of catching big fish, seeing nets go in the water, and you're seeing them netting fish. That's your telltale sign that the fishing's good over there. And what happens? Everybody's going to move on over, just like they do to James Joseph. He's like a magnet out there. It's hysterical. The Freedom Boat Club guys, they leave Freedom Boat Club at Britannia, and they drive out, and that's all they do is look for the big blue boat. I know it for a fact because I know them. I know who they are. I know what they do, and they're probably laughing right now. They're going, yep, he just gave away our secret. Yeah, that's no secret. You and about 30 other people, because he'll get on the radio to me and be like, Gaige, can you believe this? What's with this circus out here, And he's absolutely right, which is half the reason I'm not putting any shrink wrap or any markings on my boat. You know what I mean? So you don't know it's me out there. You got to come up and see me up close and personal if you want to know it's me. Because we're going to be on the fish, and that's just not an ego. That's just reality. I mean, we're going to find the fish. We always do. And if they avoid us all year, I'm going to search even harder for them. And April 15th, opening day, we had a cancellation. I did have somebody call me up for a tentative, and it was asking about it. But I got to say, as of right now, April 15th, opening day was still open because of the cancellation. I have to say that because if you didn't give a deposit, then it's not technically booked. So if it's not booked, we don't hold dates for people. We say, hey, if you want to book the date, book the date. That's all. We don't need a big deposit. We take $100, So if you want to book the date, we don't, Mid-season, before in February, we ran a special, where you paid a $250 deposit, and then you pay $250 the balance of the day. You go out and you save $100, and you can go out and book a charter for 4 hours for $500. That was for the people that booked in February. And, man, I had a couple people call up and book 2 and 3 dates that wanted to save. And because they know they're coming out anyway, so why not just save the money? They don't care. But us collecting that early money helps us just pay for, the marina and the getting the boat ready and all that fun stuff. That's why you do that. I'm a charter business. It's a charter boat. You know what I mean? So we're just super excited to get out there on the fish. So, Charles, am I jealous that you caught one? No, I'm psyched for you. I'm super excited that you got out there in our area. He was in Northport, guys. He's a local from Centerport. And I know guys that fish in Centerport, a lot of guys that fish back by the bridge, guys that fish off the docks, back by houses, and all the local beaches, So it'd be nice to see if somebody's catching some tog early in our area. It really would. And if you are, let us know. I'll see the pictures on Facebook, but shoot me some intel because I'm going to put up Charles's pictures here and show you the bass that he caught. And Manny, I'm heading west, baby. I am coming your way. And we're excited about that. This year, we are going west to start the season. And we're going to do that before the 15th. So we're going to head out that way and time it so that we'll be out there for a couple days leading up to the 15th. If nothing's booked in my area, it's even better for us because we're gonna go fish west. I would love to take somebody that wants to book the 15th and head west for an epic full day adventure. If anybody's into that and wants to do that, I would hit me up and send me a message because we're gonna go for some big fish right out of the gate. And if you're in for a long day and a big adventure, let me know. We're definitely down, but we're prepared for battle. I really appreciate all the listeners out there. I mean, all those guys in Brooklyn, I can't believe it. I look at the stats and the analytics to the audio file that goes up as well. So it's not just a video. The video goes up on Facebook and YouTube and gets a couple thousand views on YouTube. Gets 4,000 or 5,000 views on Facebook. Hits the different groups. I put up a few clips and reels on Instagram and TikTok, which I'm doing more and more every week as far as putting up shorter clips, the shorts and the reels of little segments from this whole episode. And we're getting better and better of just, there's so much work involved. And the tournament and the charter business and launching the boat and commercial tow captain, I think I have a few things, going on for sure. And not to mention executive networking and Adohika and all the other stuff that I do as far as podcasts and the audio and the video and all that great stuff. So I am starting to put stuff up and trickle it out onto all the different platforms. And it's amazing how the podcast has grown. It really has. And I just want to thank you, from the bottom of my heart. I say thanks for listening. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the sponsors. And as you see, you stop by the website, you'll see I'm going to update all the sponsors as they start filling out the form and taking up different sponsorships that are on the page. There's still a few different prize packages available to sponsor. And once all those sponsorships down there are sold, then it's going to be the bronze, silver, and gold would be the only packages you could jump into to sponsor the tournament. Again, it is competing for conservation. We need all the help we can get because there is a lot of money involved in this, guys. Nothing's for free. We do ask for help from companies and from people, and they are willing to help. They give discounts. They give stuff for free, but you can't ask for everything for free. So that's why the tournament has to pay for stuff as well. So, big shout out to the Fisherman Magazine. I love those guys, Tim and Matt and Michael and the whole staff there, But Tim shot me an email. You're shooting your report in, and I had to say, man, I'm going to have to pass this week. I can't send my fishing report in because I was so busy. I didn't have time to make one. And look, it's 5:35 on a Thursday, and I put this podcast up at 6 o'clock. I try to get it up every week, Thursday, 6 o'clock. Do I get it out on Facebook and those places at 6 o'clock? No, but I try every week to put it on the website and on YouTube and in all the different platforms that the audio podcast goes in by 6 o'clock on a Thursday, and stick to that schedule so that people can, there's consistency there. When there's consistency and people are looking for it, they want to hear it, that's how you build an audience. If they don't know when you're putting it up and you don't know when you're putting it up, that makes it harder for people to enjoy it. So that's why I stick to the guns, try to get it up in time, and I appreciate you guys so much because some weeks I can't get it up in time. That's just the truth, But I should have it up tonight in time. Didn't have my fishing report for the Fisherman Magazine. That will be next week. I'm hoping to be sitting on the boat. I can't wait to be holding some bass for you guys. We are going to make epic videos this year. We're going to start off right away in the season showing you how we tag them and what's the procedure. And you catch them, get them on the boat, get them out of the net, tag them, and release them and capture the information. And we'll show you how fast we could do that. There won't be any editing. We're just going to do it in real time. So that's going to be super cool, so you guys get to see in real time how we catch it, land it, tag it, and get it off the boat as fast as we can. And we're going to try to promote that all year. For those of you that want to learn how to tag, there are plenty of places to get the tags. I recommend going to Gray Fish Tag Research and reach out to them. If you're a captain, you can reach out to them and get the tags for your charter. If you want to tag them recreationally, you can reach out to them, and you'll have to figure out how you get them. I'm a captain, so everything's different for different people. There's different packages, so check it out. I definitely recommend them. Their tags are easy to use. You can tag multiple species, which we're going to do this year. Very excited. We're not just going to be tagging the striped bass, so if there's a bycatch, we're going to tag it, and we're going to make some really cool videos for you guys to see. So I'm super excited for the season to start. Can't wait to get back on the boat, on the water. We're probably going to launch it next week. And episode number 26, I am hoping to be in the marina. I appreciate you guys listening every week. Help us out. Register your boat for the tournament. The more people that register early, it's definitely going to help us get prepared for the entire day of the tournament. There's a lot going on, and it's so much fun. I'm so excited. And I'm telling you guys right now, you don't have to worry about me beating you in the tournament. I'm not in the tournament. Anybody on the tournament committee is not allowed to catch fish and register them in for a prize. Even if I catch a 60-inch fish that day, if you caught a 50-inch fish, you're going to beat me. But I'll just know that I caught the 60-inch fish on the day of the tournament and tagged it. So that's it. Episode number 25 is in the books. To all our sponsors, thank you so much. I will give you shout-outs each and every week in the podcast. We are inviting the sponsors on the show, so they're going to come down, sit in the marina with me, and talk about it. You're going to hear from Mike over at Sea Tow Huntington and some of the crazy things that we experience as Sea Tow captains. And that's going to be a really funny episode because he's definitely a great guy. He's got a lot of great reviews about him in Huntington. I think he was even reading one of my reviews on Google that somebody wrote about me on Sea Tow Huntington, and he was making fun of me. You know, it's just what we do. We definitely make fun of each other on a regular basis, but that's just because we love each other. You know, that's what guys do. The more you break somebody's chops, more likely it's the more you like them, and that's a known fact. And those are your friends that are usually going to be the most honest with you and tell you that you got something on your nose or you got something on your face, as opposed to your other buddy that wouldn't tell you. And that's what I love about the circle that I'm in. That's going to be a great episode. Nick Volpe from Volpe Marine, that's going to be a great episode. So we got a whole bunch of episodes lined up for when I'm sitting on the boat, guys. Very excited to bring those guests on the show and the sponsors, the Bay Rats and Buoys. First annual Striped Bass Invitational going down Sunday, June 22nd. Check it out. Register your boat. Head over to the website. If you want to sponsor, click on the banner on the tournament page down below. That'll take you over to the sponsorship page, and you can check out the sponsorship, fill out the form, reach out to me, and I'll contact you. We'll have a conversation and see if we can collaborate. All right, guys. Episode number 25 is in the books. Captain Gaige signing off. I'll see you guys out on the water. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Over and out.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. Be sure to visit sandcitycharter.com and follow Captain Gaige on all our social media channels.